We're watching Will's backstroke below the water, commentary by Coach Chris. The kick positioning looks really, really good on this video. We made a lot of progress on those turns as well. So just a few things I want to touch on with this angle. You watch, keeping those legs just under the surface. Nice tight kick. I'd like to see a little bit quicker kick, but that's pretty much the range of motion we want. His body position is really, really good. The hips are fairly high. The chest is out. The head's back real well. We're not sitting up like we're sitting in a chair. We're laying back. So that's a really efficient backstroke position. We'll see that on the head-on shot too. What I wanted to look at is right here. There's a couple good shots and angles of this, Will. If you look at your arm, it's still pretty straight at this point, and it's about right at your shoulder length. So you've pulled down from above your head. That's a lot of distance. I'd like to see you get this shoulder down just a little bit deeper at this point, so we can get that hand a little deeper and we can get that arm a little bit closer into the body. I'd like a little bit more elbow bend. So the big thing is to get that shoulder down deeper at this point so that our hands aren't quite as shallow, because we can see right up here you're kind of brushing the surface. Now, you don't do this all the time. This isn't every stroke, but it does happen rather consistently as you're swimming your backstroke, especially as you start getting tired. We'll see that a little bit on that head-on video as well. So the hand's just a little shallow. Turn is solid, but this is something we can easily improve. See, right now you've got your feet down low. They're pretty much right under you. You want to be in a more seated position, like you're sitting in a chair. That's a more powerful position. So you want your feet somewhere up here, higher on the wall. So we want to plant those feet nice and high so we don't have to have this off-balance position, because your feet, I mean, they're actually on this turn underneath you, but you tend to turn this way where your feet are just right in line with your head. You still manage to get a good push off, which you've managed to figure out, but it's just not a very powerful position. This is a little off balance. You know, the feet are just too low. You're not going to get as good a jump and push off as you can, and your streamline's getting so effective. I mean, that's a textbook streamline right there, and look at the glide. So your streamline and everything, your glide is so effective. We just are not getting enough power off that push off because of that low foot placement. Some good dolphin kicks. Okay, this is something I see a lot from the whole group, and we're going to continue to work on it and talk on it and actually focus on it a lot. It's these breakouts. I mean, you're trying to take your first stroke, which should be done at the surface, and there is about 2 feet of water between your face and your back. Or sorry, your face and the surface of the water. Okay, you got to make sure you're opening your eyes. You do not want to try to pull yourself until you are actually, your head should be right here. Like, this is the breakout position. So if you were to continue on the kick out you're on, you're probably not going to take your first stroke till your head's right here. And you want the surface to be almost hitting your nose by the time you take that first stroke. And right now, you're just going to be way underwater. And even starting a second stroke while you're still underwater. But you also see the angle that commits you to. Now you're coming up at this angle. It's not a very effective breakout. Our goal for the breakout, move back a little bit. Our goal for this breakout isn't to have this angle. And you do a pretty good job of leaning back, but you want to be almost completely flat as we go up towards the surface. So if you're streamlining and you're flat, you want to be flat, 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 and just hit the surface almost like you're trying to hit it with every square inch of your body at the same instant. And that'll get you shooting forward on that backstroke. But right now we're just a little mistimed on that breakout, and it's just causing us to lose energy. So here's a good view. Real nice hand entry. That depth right there is good, but you can see the hand's getting down, but the shoulder's not getting down with the hand. So here's a shoulder up here. The hand's lower than it. Okay, we need to make sure we're rolling that shoulder deeper. You want the shoulder to stay at the same height as the pulling hand. And you actually roll it down a little, pretty well towards the bottom of your pull. This is a good position for you. So what I would say is try to get the shoulder down earlier. Just like we want to lead the stroke above the water with our shoulder, we want to lead the stroke into the water with our shoulder. And that'll give you that timing that'll allow you to get that shoulder down and that hand deeper and bring that hand a little closer to your body. So lots of good stuff on this. You're doing really good on your approaches, on your walls. The big thing is just placing those feet right. I mean, you've got like 99% of that turn really, really good. And then if we just get those feet higher on the wall and get a solid plant in that position, get comfortable with it, you're going to notice a huge increase in how well you can jump off that wall. And then that's going to translate to more speed and easier kickouts, and it's going to probably help you with that timing on that breakout as well. But the timing of the breakout is probably the biggest thing I can see. You just got to get more patient, and you got to get a better feel for when you're about to breach the surface. That's when you break streamline. Like right when you're about to breach the surface and break through, that's when you take the hands apart and start that pull. So you want to like pull yourself through the surface, not pull yourself to the surface. So let's take a look at the head-on video, and that'll give us a real good look at your body position as well as your pull.